Hello everybody, and via VirtuPort, we're reaching towards a very busy time of the day. There are workshops going on, there are talks on stage, and I was able to get hold of Mr. Bassam. Thank you for giving us your time, and thank you for the presentation that you did on stage. I was just talking to you before we started rolling the camera, and you told me that this is your first time at EMEAI. How are you finding it?
It's actually one of the best security events that I've attended globally, and I've attended quite some.
Thank you very much, and I believe so.
No, congratulations! It's one of the audience, the discussions, the presentations with pure focus on the major problem that we have today with organizations, which is the cybersecurity.
We try our best to focus on the most prominent topics and the most advanced topics. And having said that, let's talk about the topic of the conference itself, hyper-resilient cybersecurity. And what does that mean to you?
Well, it's actually the most important part of cybersecurity, which is the recovery. Because all the reports identify and actually point out that the attack is imminent. So we have to embrace that. Are we ready for the attack? Have we practiced our recovery? Are we resilient to an attack? Have we identified what do we want to recover? Where we're going to be recovering it from? Where we're going to be recovering it to, and how we're going to be rebuilding the application stack on top of that, so that we can restore after doing all of our forensic analysis and audits on that and testing before we can restore, and how the shorter amount of time that I can do it, and most importantly, is the economical way of doing that.
That's nice. I like how you precisely stated that. And what does that mean? The economic way of doing that?
Exactly. So there actually, everybody knows that the three main pillars of recovery is actually one, you need a data set that you can recover from, which is your backup. And then from there, you need to recover two, a clean environment that it hasn't been compromised. And then three, I need to be rebuilding my application stack. Let me explain that a little bit deeper. You recover from, I need to have the most recent backup copy that I know for sure hasn't been compromised. There's two ways to do that. One, you got to go through every single copy that you have, do the forensic analysis, do this and do that. Or the other option, I have a tool. First, I have an air-gapped immutable copy of my backup with the right tools to identify quickly which is the recent most backup copy that I have that I can recover from that hasn't been compromised. Excellent. And then from there, and that saves at least maybe 90 to 95% of the time versus manual. And then second, do I have a ready to go clean environment outside of my network? And there's two ways to do that. Either I have a clean room environment that we call, that I have already built in my data centers that hasn't been used, continuously updated, patches, operating systems, network, storage, media, with all the admin requirements that comes with that, which costs millions, which actually is very expensive. Or I have an on-demand tool that can immediately create, either on cloud, a clean room environment that I can do the testing regularly and do it, which is very economical. This is what I have, but it has to have the right intelligence to know and prepare your recovery too. And then from there comes in the most important part. I have my data, I have my infrastructure. How can I rebuild my application stack and test it? I can do that in many ways. I can do it manually, again, it takes a lot of time, or I can do it with an automated tool that has pre-identified and discovered all my application stack with all the interdependencies between them to build that, so that once I have the full environment up and running, I can do my forensic analysis, I can do my testing, my auditing before I can restore. Let me tell you the difference. One, in time, it saves 90 to 95% of the time required to recover, manual versus an automated platform powered by AI to do that. And imagine an organization, when you get by ransomware attack, one, you have compliance issues, regulatory issues. Most importantly, you're losing money on a daily basis.
Sure.
And four, how can you quantify your brand and reputation within the market if you took such a long time to recover, taking into consideration the attack itself? But if I'm resilient and can recover
the downtimes.
Exactly. And most importantly, the second point is economically, if I do this manually with clean room environments, etc., forget about the losses that I have from the attack, but the amount of investments that is required to build that clean room is millions of dollars. I can actually save a lot with the right tools like we have at Commvault.
I mean, that's very extensive, but you've covered so many points. And now this is in terms of steps and maybe definition criteria based, but what are the best techniques, strategies, programs that we can have at this age today that would give you that level of required resilience?
You're actually sitting with someone who works for them, which is Commvault. And the reason that we've been around for 27 years, we are actually, if not the most company that has been in that industry for such a long time, with a very strong reputation and background and experience with our customers. Our platform is AI powered, means that the experience of 27 years dealing with recovery times, restoration, backup, the amount of workloads that we deal with every single workload, no matter where it is and no matter what it is at Commvault. So we have all of that experience. So our platform is able to early on identify, let's say you're backing an SAP platform or you're backing a database, what have you. We already have the experience in what are actually the backup and restoration steps of that workload. Our AI can actually detect anomalies and inform you, is this normal? Because that's not normal from what we see. And then if it's not normal, then you're already identifying. Second, I can give you an air-gap immutable copy of your backup in several locations that will give you the ability to quickly, with the right tools like threat scan and a lot of other, I don't want to go deeper into what we have, but it gives you the ability to identify the backup copy that you need to recover from. And then immediately, I give you a connection, a feature which is called Clean Room by Commvault. It automatically creates the environment on your, let's say, cloud platform that you have. And then from there, it will be able to identify where to recover to from the data. And then third, but not least, is our Appranix platform that pre-identify and discovers all your application stack on the cloud, and at the same time with all the interdependencies, and it actually drops your rebuild time from several days, hours, into just minutes, because it is already pre-identified. And all of that is a single platform. You can tell me, Bassam, well, there's so many tools that does this. You're actually correct. But do I want to have 6 different tools to do what you should be doing with one platform?
Sure.
Updating them all, you have integration issues, support issues, this and that. A single platform, and actually we're very unique in that space.
That's very nice. And you just mentioned that your work is AI powered.
Yeah.
And AI is one of the topics that we discussed during the conference, but in so many different dimensions. I mean, it was mentioned that it's one of the reasons why the attackers are so ahead of us, because they are AI based.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that it's one of the main sources of higher productivity in the economy. But we also said that using it causes a lot of misinformation, opens doors to risk. What would you say, or how would you say the best and optimum way in using AI would be?
One, you got to see where you're getting your AI empowerment from, which platform, how long have they been in the market,
Okay.
what's the, let's say, the experience being fed into AI coming from, where's it coming from? How long has it been? How trusted is it? That's one thing. And then before it goes out to market, how strongly has it been tested? Has it been actually challenged? Has it been stretched? But at the same time, in our platform, you're always connected at a very high level from a support and engagement perspective. We have so many levels of that that will take us hours by itself, because our customer experience is our number one, and we're actually one of the highest in the market. You're always at a point of contact. You have a direct connection with Commvault so that we can pre-identify if there's any issues. And that's why we actually have in a very high 90s customer satisfaction model.
Very well explained. Let's move on to the Saudi market. There are a lot of people in today's conference that are coming outside of Saudi. But at the same time, they've mentioned Saudi not only to be an exemplary model for a cybersecurity market, but also when it comes to rules and regulations and aligning those incentives with organizations and enterprises of different sizes. What would you say in terms of the role of rules and regulations in increasing the use of cybersecurity across different organizations?
Oh, absolutely. I've actually had a couple of discussions in the event itself. It shows how Saudi market is actually one of the most advanced, not only in the region, but I would say globally, because of the discussions around regulations on mandating and discussing the mandatory, let's say, cyber resiliency testing. It's that let's not wait for an attack to happen. We need to be ready when an attack comes in because it's going to be imminent. And that's part of the regulation that's actually up to par with what's happening globally. If you look at NIST, if you look at DORA, that also focus on not only you're protected or the front side, but actually do you have a cyber recovery plan that is tested? And this is actually part of what's happening right here at the event.
That's so thorough. Thank you for explaining that. It's not just about predicting, but it's going a step ahead and giving yourself immunity, even if that happens.
Exactly.
Thank you for that. I would like to end with one quick question. If there is
Absolutely.
one thing that you would want your attendees to go back with from your presentation, what would that be?
I think from all the presentations, and actually the theme of this event, which is very impressive, is how resilient are you? And resilience means you are going to get attacked. Are you ready? Have you tested your recovery plans before? Do you have the right tools in place and experience to help you achieve that? That's it.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for your thorough explanations.
Thank
It made
you.
it so interesting.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.